Hey guys, Shane here from Amain and very happy to be back with you for Tech Talk, and today we'll be talking about how to set the toe and caster for your car. So that's the front steering angle and the back tracking angle of the car. So last week we looked at the camber of the wheels, so that was the actual relation of how the wheels are angled inwards towards the body with relation to changing these turn rods over here and over here. But this week we'll be looking at how these wheels are positioned in relation to forward pointing exactly being 0 degrees being straight, of course negative being inward, and positive being outward caster. Or in the rear over here, we've got a couple of parts to show you over here in just a second that we'll be using to adjust in this rear section over here the angle at which the wheels will point either inwards or more straightly, and very rarely outwards. I've almost never seen that on any car setup that I've ever seen for these particular cars, and also we'll be looking at why you would do that for your handling today. So firstly, let's talk about why you would do that. So for on and off-road cars, there's obviously going to be different applications over here. For on-road, it's going to be more about the grip and the lower roll center that you're going to be using in the car. So for that reason, you see your on-road cars a little bit more set up with the wheels are going to be slightly straighter in relation to the setups that you see with the off-road buggies in the front, and in the rear also the same thing. There still will be a slight outward caster, and on the rear normally still a slight inward toe. So this would normally be done by about 1 or 2 degrees outwards on the front, and probably by about 1 or 2 degrees inwards on the rear, where the off-road buggies will actually see a little bit more outward, maybe 2 or 3 degrees, and the same thing in the rear, also about 2 or 3 degrees inward. It just so helps with the surface that you're on. When it comes to the more grippy surface, that straighter tracking is going to give you a more free response and is going to give the car better acceleration, and also it's going to make it a little bit more responsive under steering. But this is going to track a little bit wider for you, and in a dirt scenario, that's going to give you better steering with regards to tracking outwards and pulling the car forwards. And then this, as you can see over here, if you adjust the inwards as this car is going to be pressing, and you'll see the car will actually sit down into its suspension, so it'll actually help it through the suspension as well, under acceleration essentially to do that. So that's one of the reasons why you set these arms up like that, you see. And so that's one of the reasons. But anyway, in the rear, the reason why you would see on the on-road cars, again, just for that acceleration, much more free drivetrain, is to go with a straighter setup. And in the dirt scenario, we do see over there, we want that stability of pressing in on the suspension and giving us a little bit of play to work up and down. It's going to help us to put the traction down a lot better. And we're also going to be halfway through, as we can see over there, the suspension travel, which is going to give us ideal movement either side with the dampening of the shocks as well. So that's another one of the reasons why I believe you'll see a little bit more of the toe in the rear of the off-road buggy. So let's have a look at how you set that, because of course it's great that we know what it does, but let's have a look at how you set that. Now in the front of this car over here, as you can see, there are some turn rods at the top over here and on each side, and over here on the bottom there is another turn rod. Now last week we adjusted these, which, like I said, adjusted the angle at which the wheel is actually angled towards the ground in relation. The sidewall is actually angled towards the ground and so on. And this week we're looking at this one over here. Now do note that not every car comes with these adjustable turnbuckles. Some have got fixed turnbuckles, but you can make turnbuckles for most cars, and even turnbuckle kits are available for most cars as an upgrade as well. So do come online, or if you can't find them, come and give us a shout via email or call or chat. We can try to help you find the right ones for your car if you don't have adjustable turn or caster buckles, so that we, turnbuckles for the caster or for the camber, so that we can get those for your car as well. Now in the rear it's a little bit different, because in the front over here all that we do is the same as the camber. We just wrench on this little bar over here, and it's a reverse threaded bolt, which as you tighten it the one way will basically tighten on both ends, or as you loosen it will loosen on both ends. So it will either make the bar bigger or smaller, and of course as you make the bar smaller it will turn the wheels more outwards, and as you bring the bar bigger it will make the wheels turn more inwards or become more level again. So like most people will set their cars up with a slight outward caster. You're going to be setting this by looking at probably using a setup station, which most people don't have, so a lot of people do it by eyeballing it, so to speak. Most people get by like that, but I can tell you a setup station is a really good investment of money. When you put your car down on it after eyeballing it for so long and you think you've got your setup right and you put it on there, you will see that the setup board does benefit you quite substantially, especially when it comes to those very fine tweaks in the on-road cars, and that's why we see them specifically used in that market. But for the off-road cars, you benefit quite a lot as well. So they certainly can be used. So look out, I'll put some links for those setup stations down below. Now in the rear, it is a little bit different. It's not just a turnbuckle as simple as this over here that we're going to be adjusting. It's actually going to be a part over here called the C and the D block sitting in the back of the chassis, which is going to be attached over here and over here. And normally into these you can put different plastic inserts, and as you can see, these plastic inserts which go into these mounts like so, and that would attach into your chassis, and your hinge pins would then sit between one of these bars and another one over here. Judging by the different blocks that you put in over here, as you can see, here are the blocks and the different options. They're called little dampeners sometimes. You can see that they just differ the hole positions. For example, this one's going to be over here to the left, so we can position it downwards, to the right, to the left, or to the top, and vice versa. Each one of them got a different degree of angle and so on. So depending on what we put in the back and depending on what we put in the front, we'll then take the hinge pin, and the hinge pin is of course straight, so depending on how we adjust the angle in those plastic dampeners or suspension blocks as they sometimes are called, that will then change the angle of this arm here in the back. And as you can see over here, this has got a slight inward toe, so we've actually set this one up, I do believe, at 2 or 3 degrees. So you can see from there to there, we've actually altered how the whole hinge pin and the actual sway of the arm is actually adjusted in the vehicle, and that is how you adjust the toe of the vehicle. Now of course, when it comes to buggies, truggies, monster trucks, they all really get adjusted the same, but some cars have got these options and some cars don't. These front ones are mostly upgradable options, where if your car doesn't have the turnbuckle, it's probably going to have a solid rod which can be changed to a turnbuckle to be adjustable. But in the rear, sometimes this is an option that not every car is going to have. So guys, this video was actually specifically made by request, should I say, for one of our viewers named Speed. So Speed, thanks for the comment. And if you guys are looking for a video that you want us to make, come and comment down below, because I'd love to hear what you guys would like for me to show you. There's a lot of videos that we can, of course, make, but I'd like to make them for you to see what you'd like to see more about. So let me know. And of course, if you're thinking, well, that's great, I love to watch your videos, but I'd love to have a car like this one to work on, well, we're actually going to give it away. So if you want to win this one, we're going to be giving this away at the end of the month. I'll put the link for the competition down below. So do come and check out this. This is the Ryan Mayfield DTM edition from Yokomo. And this one was the one that we actually had him drive. So you can actually win this buggy. So come and get it, guys, and the link is down below. So like, comment, share, and don't forget to tell me what videos you'd like for me to make next week, and following on from that. Hey guys, signing off. Have a lovely day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.